give you the highlights of the Daytona Supercross here for 2024 in the 450 class. So Eli Tomac comes in off his best race of the season a week ago. And, of course, the all-time winningest rider at this racetrack. So it looked like it was go time for Eli. We go into the 450 Supercross main event, a huge drama for the 18 of Jett Lawrence, Ricky.
Yeah, this was unbelievable. And just to think how Jett Lawrence was able to manage this and still come off the gate, what, top 5, James? That's pretty incredible, because that is a massive distraction and can cause a lot of angst.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he didn't know. He clicked that bike in gear, and he's looking, whoa, what's going on? But just to regroup and focus, he actually got to that first corner up front, pretty much in the lead. Just ran a little bit wide, and but still, nice recovery by the kid.
Could have been a disaster. Instead, it's Chase Sexton in the lead. Here's Eli Tomac challenging, and this is a great duel early on.
Yeah, those guys are kind of going back and forth, and it seemed like if Eli might have been able to get around Chase, maybe the race would have been different, but now he had other plans. He struggled, and then next thing you know, Jett Lawrence got around Eli Tomac, and then he wasn't done, Jason. He saw that BOGO special going on, that 2-for-1, and he made his way around the #1 of Chase Sexton, and he was gone.
I wonder if, I bet Sexton didn't even know that that was Jett Lawrence, because the last thing I believe that he thought was that Eli Tomac was behind him, and boom, to your point, BOGO special little 2-for action.
Big crash for Aaron Plessinger.
I'm going to tell you right now, that was a quick dismount by Aaron Plessinger, and that's a 10 out of a 10, being able to step through the bars with that short of notice.
Well, it's the Olympics this year. The Olympics are coming up this year.
Track almost catches Lawrence late, gets back on, and then over jumps the finish line jump for good measure. And then this is late. Tomac back after Sexton, James.
Yeah, and no, this ain't the first lap again. These guys went at it the whole race, but yeah, it was difficult. Eli was able to make the pass on him, but by that time, that number 18, he was long gone.
Way to Eli, stick with it, get around the one there.
And there it is. Jett Lawrence starts behind 2 of the big names in the game, passes them, and wins Daytona big. And then you get to celebrate a sigh of relief for the entire Honda crew, who almost blew it with that wheel change off the start, and there is the celebration.
Yeah, the only one that could attack Jett Lawrence was the tire, and these guys right here.
I thought we were going to have some backs.
They still might be down there.
They might be. Maybe they could cut the goggle in half, say, here, let's have it.
So there it is, Sexton third, Tomac flanking Lawrence in second. Cooper Webb, not the start he wanted, not the early laps he wanted. He does come back for 4th.
Notable, Benny Bloss, great job on that beta here at Daytona, one of the toughest Supercross tracks on the circuit, and Malcolm Stewart and Justin Cooper, those are the notables for me.
Good solid rides there. Nice to see Adam Seamsterlow back. He's never been able to race Daytona in the 450 class. He grew up 10 minutes from here. He comes back from injury and ends up in 12th. That's your full field. Hunter Lawrence was down and out early. Justin Hill also did not finish. Let's give you the 450 season standings brought to you by Monster Energy. It's still only a 10-point lead for Jett Lawrence, so it seems like everything's rolling his way, but James, there's still a lot can happen.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I mean, this series is still wide open. I mean, Eli Tomac is still 16 points back, but I think really the mindset was the biggest blow tonight. You know, that's the biggest points value or gain Jett Lawrence was able to accomplish with that. So, yeah, great night for him, but yeah, Eli's still right there. So is Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb.
Yes, but for Lawrence to pass those guys and win, yes, definitely got to weigh heavy on the mind. But no one had heavier thoughts than Jett Lawrence's mechanic with that wheel swap that almost ended the race for him before it started. Will Christian has Jett's mechanic.
Thank you, Jason. And wow, what a start that was to the 450 main. Before we'd even got a gate drop, there was drama. I'm with Christian Deschamps now, who is the mechanic to Jett Lawrence, and the man who saved all that from going really wrong. Christian, we've got some B-roll of what happened there. So just talk me through it from your perspective.
We went out for a sight lap on a different wheel, and then we did a wheel change after a sight lap to go onto the mesh with a nice dry tire. And the wheel change, obviously the conditions, this and that, didn't quite go as we would have hoped. And then when we went to roll on the mesh, we missed the full shot button a few times, and it's quite a tight turnaround. Then came time to do the tire wrap, and we had about 5 seconds left, and then the board went sideways, and revs came up, and last couple seconds just ripped the tire cover off just in time for him to get out. And luckily the bike stayed aligned, and we got a good start, so it was pretty hectic on my side for the start of the main. And I'm sure him, you know, looking back and seeing that still things on his motorcycle that are being worked on, so for him to keep his composure and get that start's pretty miraculous. And then, yeah, I don't really remember much of that beginning because my heart rate was probably about 200, but it's just calmed down now. So,
I mean, what could have gone wrong? What would have been? Sometimes there's no point in what talking about would have been, but that was so incredibly close. What would have happened had you been a second off there?
I mean, he would have taken off, and the tire cover could have been half off, could have tangled in the rotor sprocket, you know, lodged the wheel, so it could have been pretty bad.
Now, what did the team say? So that all happens. Your heart rate's 200, as you said. What does everybody say? Has Jett said anything to you? Or any of the team said anything to you?
No, really. It was kind of just like, well, that was close. Like, pretty stressful. Like, yeah, I'm aware. I was pretty stressed and pretty close. Yeah, kind of the same feeling all the way across the board.
But Christian, you got a smile on your face because despite all of that drama in there, you guys have got yourself a Daytona win. How does that feel?
Feels incredible. Any win is special, but I think Daytona win is always, especially in these conditions. It was a treacherous track. It's pretty special.
Fair to say it's definitely at least part in thanks to you. So thanks for talking us through it all.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
Because this track was breeding it all night with the conditions and how soft and rutted it was. And honestly, that might have been what decided our 450 race win. So for more on that, we send it back down to Jason Thomas.
So I'm standing in the quad section that both Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac mentioned that they were unwilling to continue jumping, and Jett Lawrence was. And that was really the difference tonight. And you'll see the depth of this rut, and that's really what talked them out of jumping it. And you heard Eli Tomac just say the risk wasn't worth it. He was unwilling to take that much risk, even if it meant winning the race. And if you look over that footage and you see Jett Lawrence continuing to jump it lap after lap, that's where he made his passes. That's also how he built up a 10-second lead. So as we move on into Birmingham, that's going to be the question. Will Eli Tomac be willing to take the risk if there's a section like this, a big quad, a rhythm section they have to put together to beat Jett Lawrence? You're going to have to be willing to take those risks week in and week out.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.